Hello, beautiful people. Musoki Bridget right here. Those who are new to my YouTube channel, you're most welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bar so that you can always get notified in case we have new things here. Guys, I missed you so much. It's been long. Yes, it's been long. I know you guys couldn't wait for the next episode. So, guys, have you ever been in a situation where you've outgrown the new you, rather the old you, but the new you feels so unfamiliar? You find yourself asking your questions, but who am I? You've gone through a transition and you're not the same anymore, but you're still not yet very, very sure of what you are. You doubt yourself. I think most of the times you're like, what am I becoming? You're not sure of where you are, where you're from, you're just there. Now, that right there is what we call an identity crisis. By the end of this episode, we are going to see that what we see as a breakdown may actually not be a breakdown like it may seem, but may actually be a beginning of your alignment. Usually, an identity crisis finds us in moments when we've transitioned into new people, or certain things have happened in our lives, or maybe you're trying to think about your career and you're like, is this what I signed for? Or let's say you've graduated, you are now a doctor, your parents always wanted you to be a doctor, and here you are, you've got the degree, and you're like, is this what I wanted? Or you just got married, and you are now someone's wife, you're now someone's husband, and you've outgrown the past. You're no longer single, you're married, but you still can't figure out who you are. What are you up to? You're so confused. The new you is not very, very vivid. You do not even understand what you are right now. Or sometimes, usually after breakups, you know, especially the women, oh my God, you've been dating someone for a long time. Doesn't matter for a long time. Women are very delusional beings when we're in love. You all know that. So you've been dating someone, and especially my gender, when you're dating someone, there is a way, for some reason, our identity is not always the same. So after you break up, you're like, wait, I am Bridget, I have responsibilities to do. Like, you realize you've been living a life as a girlfriend, you realize you've spent all your life living as a doctor, you realize you've been a single person, you weren't married, and right now things are not the same anymore, and you're like, who am I? What am I doing? What is life? What is now, friend? We are here to understand that these memories, or rather these moments, are not moments of failure or breakdown. I feel like these are moments when a nuance is trying to establish themselves, and the new beginnings they don't always come easy. So that process is what comes with a crisis. And usually, the identity crisis can be so horrible. It comes with very many effects. For example, let's say now people know you as a certain person, and you're trying to identify yourself as a different person. A lot of things come in. People resent you. You even resent yourself. For example, people know you, Bridget, you've been a teacher all your life. So what do you mean you're going back to medical school? There is that kind of people. You feel like you owe people an explanation, like, hey, look, guys, I'm no longer a teacher. I'm going to medical school. I want to be a doctor. Like, that whole changing process confuses everything, and you feel like I have too much work to do for people to understand, because we live with people and they will want to understand what are you doing. So it becomes tricky. Or maybe you're married and you remember you're someone's wife, so your mother, so you are an in-law, you are a daughter-in-law, and the roles that come with all those things, and you feel like, wait, who am I without all these things? So I think it's a very important phase in our lives, and if you've not gone through that phase, because it's not necessarily about relationships, career, even you as a person, you could have your own characters as a person. For example, let's say Bridget. For example, I'll use me as an example. I am someone who loves. I'm not a bar person. I don't go to. I go to bars, but you would find me once in a bar in a year. So when you're trying to join the bar and try to be a bar person, there is that kind of attention that will come around that you may not be able to withstand, because people will wonder, why are you know that, why are you suddenly this? And then also the routines that you are used to are going to be a little bit different, which makes it so difficult. Or sometimes maybe let's say you're transitioning from high school to the university, and now you are at university and you're seeing new things, and sometimes you even feel inferior. You're seeing people driving to campus. Oh my god, freshers, people are dressed in this certain of way, you grew up dressing that certain kind of way, so it becomes confusing. You're struggling to identify yourself with a certain group of people, you're struggling to identify yourself with a certain career. So sometimes when you're going through this transition, it is really so hard, guys. It is really so hard. And it comes at a time, and then you begin realizing you're comparing yourself with very many people, or you're resenting someone because maybe they do not align with the new you. You find that you would hang around with friends that you used to hang around with, but you feel drained. For example, you're trying to stop gossiping, but your friends are the friends that usually gossip. And every time you're drawn back to them, you feel drained after having time with them. You're like, I don't want to be that. So, all those are effects that come around with being in an identity crisis. But hey, we need to embrace the thing that comes with meditation and staying. Sometimes you need to find those moments of being alone, and then you have to think. So sometimes you find yourself comparing yourself with very many other people, or sometimes you feel you do not align, or you do not flow on together. Rather, you not get along with the people that you used to get along, or sometimes you feel like you do not know what you are. You are in a situation, you are a doctor, but you do not feel happy as a doctor, and you constantly keep on asking yourself, who am I without these titles, without these roles? Friend, that is what we call an identity crisis. And trust me, it's one of the most important moments in your life, because that is when you get to sit back and reset and plan as a person, like, hey, I think this is how I've been living, and this is how I should proceed, and this is how I'm going to go along with my next life. Because the most beautiful thing about this life is that you can always begin. Yes, you can always start afresh. I can't count the times matter of fact, I think I have lived like 5 lives. At my age, I think I've lived like 5 years, rather five lives, because I keep on restarting. Today, you'll find me very different from how you found me 2 years ago. And that is the beauty of life. You can always reset, you can always do something new without fear of people. What will people say? People will always adjust, and that's also the most beautiful part of it. So, when you're going through an identity crisis, you may find yourself in isolation, or you can even begin journaling. You're meditating, you do so much more of the meditation. It really helps, and it's a good thing, guys. We need to embrace it. It's really a good thing to notice the phases of life you're going through and understand yourself. Most of the people here, most of us, they're people who do not love having time alone. You guys, we need to embrace solitude, because it is a very important aspect. Without solitude, I mean, being alone and assessing your whole life, you unpack everything one by one and understand, what am I doing? Who am I right now? What am I up to? What have I been like? Being true to yourself when you are alone, because at the end of the day, we are living these lives with very many people, but most of it is actually, it's us going through the life, it's us living the life, and the way we see life is not the same way people will see it. So you have to be real with yourself, sit down and unpack things one by one and understand, I've been doing this, I want to outgrow this, and the effects will also come through. How will I manage, how will I handle those effects? People are going to resent me, or I'm going to resent other people, but it's for the good. I'm headed to somewhere that these people will not understand, and I don't owe them explanations. So you have to get yourself straight, sit sit alone, meditate. You can journal. You can, these days there are some people who love ChatGPT, and you can have conversations with ChatGPT and analyze your patterns, analyze your habits, and discover who you are. What is making you happy? Are you happy with the person you are right now? What do you want for yourself? Because everything, someone was telling me this life is like a river. I don't want to sound like a motivational speaker, but hey, look, you see, I hate it. I really hate to sound like a motivational speaker, because you guys tend to think, like, look, let me give you the whole picture I'm trying to tell you. Life is like a river because everything is in plenty on this earth. We have it all resources. Everything you want exists, and it's surely there waiting for you to go for it. So, if you want 10 liters of the of water, you have to get the jerry cans. Take the 10 liters of jerry cans and take them to the river, and what you pick is what you get. This is the same thing with life. If you want as much as you want, it is there. You have to work for it because it will surely come. So if you want to be a better person, but you're very, very afraid of uncertain things, I want to tell you today that you can get all these things. So if a problem known is a problem half solved. When you realize you're going through an identity crisis, it's something you should thank God for, because at least now you can realize, you can notice the change in your patterns. At least now you can acknowledge that you're growing. You're not the same person. You're not living life for the people who wake up and today is the same as tomorrow and the next month and the next year, which is not a good thing. So when you reach when you reach those stages, we need to embrace the change for the better. It is a very good habit and it is a very good thing to always change. Change because life changes, and when it changes, you ought to change with it. When you realize there is something you adopted and you need to work on it, there is something you've just abandoned and you need to let it go. It's good to always do the work, have times with ourselves and analyze how we are progressing with what we are looking forward to, what we are becoming. You make the conversations with yourself. You assess the situations, the life. Is it the life you want to live? Do you feel satisfied with who you are right now, or you think there is something more to do? It is really a good thing. And also we need to also learn to be kind to people, because we do not know at what phases they are in their lives. Someone used to be a drunkard, and you've met them 2 months ago, and the next time you meet them, you're trying to talk to them or address them like they are the usual drunkards, yet you actually do not know how far have they gone with life. You meet someone like you last met someone like 5 years ago, and they were there was something that there was something that would actually be embarrassing, and you still want to look at them in the same way. It is not a very kind thing, guys. Let's understand that people grow, and it is well, and also we do not grow at the same time. We grow in different paces. So when you see someone outgrowing something, please be kind, let them be, and embrace the new them. And that is the beauty of it, guys. People will always elevate. When you feel like you're going through an identity crisis, it is a very good beginning, and that is when you find the peace in the alignment. Thank you. Let's catch up in the next episode.